This is The Good Government Show.
Anyway, I walked in the room and they went, "Shooter!" and started doing the guns. I was like, oh my God, pinch me now. I'll never forget that moment. I was the president of my high school class for 3 years, so kind of a big deal. If you don't really hear about it too much, then they're doing a great job. But when it gets to be messy, that's when there is blasted on all the television stations, and it's getting rough. Good government is listening to who your constituents are and doing the best you can possibly do in those areas they're asking you to fix. Because it ain't easy, and that's why they were elected, to see if they can get everybody on the same plane. Just let's all get together and then let's do good.
Here on The Good Government Show, we're really excited to be working with our new partner, HelloNation. This is an online video magazine that showcases the best of cities around the nation. On this show, I get to sit down with their national spokesman, the actor, Chris McDonald. Welcome to The Good Government Show. I'm Dave Martin. First, help us share the message of good government by liking us and sharing us where we are on social media. Make sure to review our show and share us everywhere. We all need to talk about good government. Today's show is a little different. My guest is Shooter McGavin. That's the character Chris played when he lost to Happy Gilmore in the Adam Sandler comedy. We could have just talked about golf and movies, and we certainly covered that, but we do talk a little bit about government and HelloNation. So there is some good government here. We met at the Conference of Mayors Washington, D.C. conference. We talked about what most impressed the actor, who said he'd played both a mayor and a president. So again, there is more government discussion. And a note of explanation. I have a friend who's a Hollywood movie producer. He invited me up to Boston when he was shooting the movie Celtic Pride, starring, among others, Chris McDonald. So here we are, about 20 years later, talking about the movie. If you haven't seen Celtic Pride, check it out. It's a fun sports comedy. So coming up, actor and HelloNation spokesman, Shooter Chris McDonald. We have a new partner here on The Good Government Show, HelloNation. This is a new digital magazine that showcases the best of cities across the nation. We'd all prefer if good news traveled faster. At HelloNation, positive stories don't just get told, they get amplified. HelloNation helps businesses, leaders, and communities share positive stories that matter, building trust, credibility, and meaningful connection. Through professionally produced podcasts, digital features, and targeted distribution, HelloNation positions you as the answer regular folks are looking for, while expanding and scaling your digital footprint across the platforms that people trust. Good news deserves momentum. Your city or your business can help spread the word of good news across the nation. At HelloNation, they don't just have advertisers, they have advertisers. Editorial content from trusted community leaders and cities that are helping spread the good news. Let HelloNation lift you up and lead the conversation. Visit HelloNation.com to learn more. Once you wrap up this episode of The Good Government Show, give a listen to our friends over at Good News for Lefties. This daily podcast highlights news stories that show there's more good news out there. Other people in government are really trying to do the right thing. That's Good News for Lefties. Listen where you're listening now. Welcome to The Good Government Show, and welcome to my guest, a bit of a departure. We have a movie star with us. You're not a mayor, you're not a president, you're an actor, but you're here at the Conference of Mayors. Chris McDonald, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here. I've played mayors, I've played presidents. So
you've played mayors and presidents.
Yes,
all right, good. Where were you a president? Where did you play?
I was a president in a Robert Rodriguez movie.
Okay.
You know how he does those great kids movies, and
yes.
This one was a classic. And then I got to redo that same presidential part when he did the next series of it. So
okay. Yeah. And what was the other role you played?
I was a mayor.
Okay.
Well, like Mayor Andy of Mayberry.
Okay.
So, but this was in a play, so it was all fun.
All right. Yeah. So you're well familiar with politics and government.
I'm like right up to here with politics.
Well, listen, if you fake it till you make it, right?
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah. I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on TV.
Exactly.
You are here as a guest of an organization called HelloNation.
Yes.
And you are their spokesperson.
Yes.
So let's just talk about HelloNation. What are they doing? Who are they? What are they?
HelloNation started out with my friend Bob Bartolowski, who's just a great guy, a bright mind, and a very forward thinker. He's got this group that he started about 25 years ago called CGI. What they did is they expanded the whole program and made it with their CGI base and took AI pictures of every city, town in the United States.
Right.
And what they do is you can go to this board that they have up there in our display area, and push in your town and see who's up on this level of getting things done. Like, say you need a good car repair guy, so you imagine putting that all together. This is what they do, and then they make this great chance for you to be the guy that's paying it forward for the good. Because a good guy, if you're going to go to a mechanic and you know that this guy's the go-to guy to go to in town, you want him on the top of the list. So that kind of thing gives it. I'm not doing the best description of it, but
you're doing better than I did.
Right,
and I saw it once. You see it more than me.
Yeah.
But it is a giant board, and you said pick a town, and I picked the town I grew up in, and he focused in on that town, and then found like a real estate agent.
Right.
That's the process.
That's the process. So they're finding the good people in that area that are making changes, paying it forward, doing the right thing, and he puts them on the list, and it works out as a symbiotic relationship, and people just love it right now. So it's kicking off. This is now I guess he's in a whole year now, and it's blowing up. So.
And let's just add that Bob is a big guy and a big personality.
That he is. He's a very bright guy. Just kind of like really getting to know him. As I go to these things, it's only my second time going out with him, but he knows that. He's very well read. He knows things. He's funny. He's a beast. He's a big guy.
He's a beast.
He's like an outside linebacker. You don't want to mess with him. He's a big guy.
No.
So he's but a great dude.
And your golfing buddies.
And the golfing buddies, absolutely.
So how's your golf game?
My golf game's pretty good.
There was some movie you did where you played a lot of golf. I can't remember the name of it.
That was a while ago.
Happy something.
Yeah, something like Happy something.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore. And Happy Gilmore is a blast, especially the first one for Shooter McGavin to have come into he was the guy to beat. And oh my God, we had laughs doing that. Dennis Dugan directed, and I almost turned it down. And I said, good God, thank you for making me come back and do this. But what it led to was I couldn't do it because I was doing another film at the time, and I just finished, and I had wife and kids at home, and I'm a terrible father if I don't go home and see my kids. So I left Toronto, but I had to one more thing. I had to go to a golf tournament in Seattle. Went to the golf tournament in Seattle. My team won. I went, gosh, I wonder if that golf movie's still around. Called up and sat down with Adam.
See, this is the thing about golf. I think your last hole is your best hole because the gods of golf want you to come back and play no matter how the other 17 holes went.
Absolutely. You know it.
Yes.
That's the truth, man. It's when you hit it and it's like
so you got the fever and you thought you could play golf.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
So how much golf did you play on Happy Gilmore?
I played all my own shots except for the one where they wanted me to dunk it in the water, and I couldn't do it. I tried like 4 or 5 times. I went, bring in the stunt double, we'll pull it behind, and he plopped it right in because he was a pro.
Were you guys just playing golf every day?
Every day. That's what I did. And what's so great about this, Dave, I got to tell you, they set these shots up. There's a bunch of things to get the lights right and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there with a golf pro, and we're chipping the ball in. My short game got sick for a while there. I was like, oh yeah, you think I'm bad off the tee? Well, watch me, I short game. So because Gilmore had that rocket ship that was his gimmick, right? That
right.
Like he could hit it 400 yards, but it was a joy to do the first one, and an absolute treat and a blessing come true. And I kept on begging Adam, the fans demand it. We got to make a sequel. People stop me all the time. We got to make a sequel. He goes, yeah. He asked me for a few years, and then he finally sat down with his writer, and they got a really funny script, and people love it. So, and I got to meet legends of golf and legends in training. Yes. And I got to say, it was one of the most fun. And I walked into the room one day where they were, between scenes, and I wasn't shooting that day, but I wanted to see because Jack Nicholson's there, the Trevino's there, all these great golfers. And as soon as I turned the corner,
so you turned from being an actor to start a movie to being a golf fan.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, I walked in the room, and they went shooter and started doing the guns. I was like, oh my God, pinch me now. I'll never forget that moment. Yeah. It was wild. Yeah.
And did your golf game improve after the results of Happy Gilmore 1 and 2?
I would say yes, because I was invited to play everywhere, and it was a joy. And what I really enjoy doing now is playing at the. So
does Shooter show up, or does Chris McDonald show up?
A little bit of both. Yeah, they demand the shooter out of me. So I do something. I had a big putt off with a legendary golfer / football player, and he was retired now, and he said, "Shooter, you're not going to make this," and he says, "I'll give you $500 if you make this putt." And I literally watched everybody else do it because it's it's a scramble, and the ball went in, and he crumpled the money up and threw it on the ground, and said, "No, right here, Pally, right in the palm of my hand." So it's moments like that turn me into the shooter, and people eat it up.
All right, pretty fun. You versus Adam Sandler, 1-on-1 golf. Who's winning?
It's a pretty good thing because he's a very good athlete. And he'll get off the tee well, but I will putt for dough, baby. So I think I got that one.
Well, I live in New York City, and he always turns up playing playing basketball in the park.
He loves the game. He loves the ball game. And
Yeah.
I tell you what, I got to say, he's good at that too. Got a lot of great shots behind the back, kind of like passes and stuff. And he and Timothée Chalamet just did it when they did one of these things for the Oscars, trying to get that attention for your team. And I think it's really a shame. He's such a good actor when he does. And I mean, everybody loves him as his comedies, but when he's really in it, and he's amazing. And the movie's called Jay Kelly, and he played George Clooney's manager,
Right.
and it was really a heart moving experience for me because I watched the whole thing. So
Uncut Gems and
brilliant.
These two movies he's done. It's like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I know. So he has a great range, and I'm so happy he's embracing all that stuff now. And he's got a great deal at Netflix, so they said we got to crank him out here. So
All right.
but right after we finished Happy Gilmore 2, he directed both his daughters in separate movies.
Really?
In New Jersey.
Okay.
Now that's a good father right there. I'll tell you what.
That's a good dad.
Yeah, he's a good dad. And he
All right.
puts his friends in everything, which is great.
One other movie we got to talk about because we have a mutual friend, Celtic Pride.
Oh, classic.
A classic.
Yeah.
I don't know about classic, but the script was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
And we both actually did something that not many people get to do. We played basketball on the parquet floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'm fun. I was out there. I was telling you yesterday with Red Auerbach, and I was like standing mid-court and smoking stogies because he's the only one who's allowed to smoke a stogie. And I thought, I am not going to pass this up. So it was brilliant. And you were the last guy that probably won playing horse on the parquet floor, which is fantastic.
I lost. I lost, by the way. I lost. But you won. You were.
Yeah.
So basically, this is a movie that was out several years ago. I think it was Dan Aykroyd and Daniel Stern play
That's right.
rabid Celtic fans.
Yes.
And they decided it's a good idea to kidnap the Utah Jazz star player.
Right.
And I can't remember exactly what happens, but somehow they have to wind up being Celtic Utah Jazz fans.
Exactly right.
Right. And you were the coach of the Utah Jazz.
Yes, I was. The last winning coach on the parquet floor. Then they moved right from there to downtown Boston.
Well, thank you, Charlie Schlissel. You brought us all together. And here we are, 20 years later, talking basketball.
That's funny.
So you are here with HelloNation, and this is the Good Government Show. We can't completely avoid government. What drew you to work with HelloNation? What moved you?
I just thought when I saw the template of it that it was something for the good.
Right.
We need more good. We need more humor in life. We need more good in life. And this is something it's helping so many people who just want to get their platform off the ground with a great viewing and the great pictures, and people are kind of blown away. Like you said, you look at yours, and that's my town.
That's my town.
But they have every town.
Did you look up your hometown?
All three of them. It was great.
Yeah.
So so that I believed in it, and I believed in Bob, and I was happy to help. I said if I'm not working, I'll be happy to come and join you.
Yeah.
So that's exactly why I did it, and I like the people he works with. So that's basically it. And I learned. I mean, I was talking to a lot of mayors. We're at this mayor convention. It's amazing.
Right. Conference of Mayors here in Washington.
And I'm well. It's not. It's something that is the hardest thing to fix. And then I run into this, and it's about the homeless. They're in California. It is a terrible problem, and you can't help them if they're sick, and if they have a drug problem. They're going to sleep outside in the cold, which is terrible. So I'm meeting these mayors, and this guy named Joe is a mayor of Manhattan Beach.
Okay.
And
nice spot.
Nice spot. No homeless. I said, now I heard you say you don't have any homeless in Manhattan Beach. Now, Manhattan Beach is one of the most beautiful spots in the west coast, just north of San Diego, which is another gorgeous spot.
Right.
And
I've actually surfed in Manhattan Beach.
Yeah, wow. That's it's a beautiful place.
It is a beautiful place.
And I had just been there, so I said, yeah, I noticed that. So how do they do it? What programs they do to make it happen? How much money they extend to that to put these people off the street into housing, so they can get better, so they can get a job, so they can move on with their lives. And then the other one, they really pièce de résistance. He ran into two women who were saying, I can't find my husband. They were German.
Yeah.
And they'd been there looking, and they were mentally, challenged. He got them on a plane, sent them back once he tracked down the family.
Wow.
He sent them back to Germany. I mean, this guy gets the job done. So I was very impressed. And but it's an issue that is not easily solved. And every town I travel a great deal, and every town I've been to, there's always underneath the freeways, everyone's back in there.
Sure.
And it's tragic. People on the corner, begging, and it's not the, it's something that can be fixed, as I saw with Joe and what he did down in
Manhattan Beach.
Manhattan Beach. And so that's something that said it can be done. And he put his people on it, and he's winning the day.
Well, you jumped in before I got to ask you the question. You said this is the second time you've been to a government conference. Were you a government guy? Were you a politics guy? Were you a political guy? Were you?
I was a president of my high school class for 3 years. So
were you?
Kind of a big deal.
You're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, kind of a big deal. But in Romulus, New York.
Okay.
But no, I never kind of stuck away. As an actor, one has to be sort of Switzerland.
Yeah.
So, but
I mean, was this something that you were always interested in? Was it something you were always paying attention to? Were you three papers a day?
I pay attention to the government. I pay attention to the choices and the people elected and how they got elected. And I think that's interesting. I'm very serious about my voting. But other than the fact that if you don't really hear about it too much, then they're doing a great job. But when it gets to be messy, that's when there is blasted on all the television stations, and it's getting rough.
So you talked about the mayor of Manhattan Beach who impressed you. What is your sort of takeaway? What have you picked up and what have you learned here at the Conference of Mayors, talking with mayors? Everyone's coming up and meeting you. I'm sure you're hearing some great stories. I
heard some great stories. I had lunch yesterday and watched there was a great speech. I don't remember his name, but then it was so intense and great. Very bright guy. And I feel embarrassed. I don't remember his name, but I have it written down someplace.
All right.
And then we spoke again last night after the whole shebang was over. Great storyteller. Knows what he's doing. He's fearless on both sides of the voting, as it were. And just a really, really intense and great speaker. So he had a lot to say about how to think about these. He had charts set up on top of the dais and of words. How you should frame the words and how you should change this and don't say
we're talking about
this.
Frank Lutz.
Yeah, that's him.
Frank Lutz, the pollster. Yes, he brought all the West Point cadets with him.
He did.
Yes.
He did. And what a great guy.
He is.
And a great raconteur. He told great stories. Oh, you know him well.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You must have had him on this program because he's a lock.
You know what? I have not been able to get Frank on the program. Hopefully he's listening. You're going to work on this for me? Good. I have his number here. I keep calling him. And every time I see him, he's like, I'm too busy.
Yeah.
Are you hopeful? Do you feel like, when you come to the Conference of Mayors and when you've interacted through HelloNation with people in government, do you get a good feeling?
Absolutely. I find people that are very sharp.
Yes.
Mayors that I've met, and I've met probably most of them.
Okay.
They all come over. They love the shooter. They shake the hand. They take the selfie, and
yes.
And it's all good. And I spend a few minutes talking with them, and they're just hardworking, got the job done, happy they have the gig. Second and third termers are a little bit more like, I'm trying to really work this issue here and there. So they don't stop, and I have nothing but respect for them.
Can you give my listeners and your audience a reason to be hopeful based on what you've seen here at the conference?
Yeah, I think that when they get somebody in there that is as A, qualified, and B, for example, the women, they said, she'll never get elected. She's a woman and no one likes it. Whenever it's a man's thing. And she won by, many, many, many votes and made a huge difference. And still does, and outworks that man because he's, still in politics. So that kind of thing is like very, very hopeful. I think that when they come, they all come together and they all share their information and deal with it. I only talked about, the things that are on my mind because I see it so much with the homelessness, and but they just do everything, and I'm really jazzed about it actually, how well they work together.
All right. Well, that's a good reason to be optimistic then.
Yes, I agree.
We're going to come back. We're going to ask you a couple of questions. The Good Government Show is sponsored by Our. That's OUR for Our Community. Get involved. We hear that all the time from government leaders. Our co-brands with your government's name and logo. Your staff and the people you serve are connected and part of your community. From any device, your members provide reliable data and meaningful feedback. Ask a question like, do we want more parkland or better homeless services? More engaged conversations come through the Our app. Visit Ourco, that's OURCO.com, and book a demonstration. After you get done with this episode, hear more good government stories with our friends at How to Really Run a City. Former mayors Kasim Reed of Atlanta and Michael Nutter of Philadelphia, and their co-host, journalist and author Larry Platt, talk with guests and other mayors about how to really get stuff done in cities around the nation. Check them out where you're listening now or through their nonprofit news site, thephiladelphiacitizen.org/podcasts. We have a Good Government Show questionnaire. We ask all the mayors this. So this is going to be a little tough because you're not a mayor. However, you have played a mayor and a president. So this is going to be a breeze.
And a lawyer. So
a lawyer, out, even better. So you can just talk
okay.
talk around.
All right.
What is good government? How do you define good government? What's your definition of good government?
Good government is listening to who your constituents are and doing the best you can possibly do in those areas they're asking you to fix, because it ain't easy. And that's why they were elected, to see if they can get everybody on the same plane and let's not having these horns going at each other all the time. So that's what it feels like anyway.
Have you ever gotten involved in a local issue in your hometowns? I think you said you had 3 of them. Have you ever gotten involved and done stuff? And what would you tell people to do? How should they get involved?
I find it, and I live in a small town in California, but it's on a lake. It's how I grew up in upstate New York, and I recreated that to grow to have a family up there. And there's a lot of, I got to say, fraud. I'll say it out loud. I'll spell it for you. Fraud. And it happens.
Goodbye, Switzerland, by the way.
Yeah. See you, Switzerland. Exactly. I just got to say, I mean, that's something that's really, I do it, but I can't do too much of it because I'm an actor and I got to be the Switzerland guy.
Yeah.
But when it's that prevalent right in your face, they wanted to take our water rights and sell it.
Okay.
And it's not right to do that. But it was all about, there's a lot of greed, and then all these things were behind closed doors, and no one was invited, and so there's no transparency at all. And then when you find out what really happens behind closed doors, you go, oh man, we got to just step up and do something here. So I have a couple of friends, and I know they have time, and a couple of lawyers up there that really go after them and really expose what's going on behind those closed doors. So that's the part I deal with mostly in my personal life.
There are actors who have been, quite outspoken about politics and about government.
Yeah.
Have you had any conversations with those guys?
I have, and they're not working anymore. We'll be right back after these messages.
You are a working actor, sir.
I am indeed. Yeah.
Who is anyone in government or in public service inspire you?
Oh, a lot of people inspire me.
Other than the mayor of Manhattan Beach?
Well, he's number one right now because he's the latest one. But
let's be fair. Manhattan Beach is beautiful.
Truly, and he keeps it beautiful.
It does,
which is a beautiful thing. Which is those two towns away. It's not so much the same. There's a lot of
Hermosa and El Segundo, different sides, different cities, right?
Different cities, exactly.
Okay,
but. What was your question? It was a very important question.
I have no idea. Who inspires you, other than the mayor of Manhattan Beach? Are there politicians or people in government that inspire you?
Well, yeah. I mean, there are so many wonderful people doing a great job out there, and like I say, I keep involved with it. I vote, but at the same time, I can't really talk about how I vote because that's kind of a personal thing.
Yes, that's why we vote privately at a booth.
Exactly. That's why we're doing that, and I was happy to. I also have switched off my voting to the East Coast because I live in New York City as well.
All right.
And I spend more time there when I'm working on shows and things like that. So voting on that thing would be very, 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 very interesting how people are really, really vocal about.
Did you vote in the last mayoral election in New York City?
I did indeed, yes.
All right, good man.
Yeah. And then New York, they're very passionate about it too, which is great.
You said 3 years student government president. Did you ever consider a career in politics?
No,
because acting and politics sometimes go together. Yeah. I don't know if you've heard.
Dave, I think you're right there, Dave. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not my thing.
No, that's a no.
No, it's a no. And my wife would agree to keep me out of it. So.
Is there anything you can do, and what can we all do you think, to restore faith in government?
Pay it forward. Go out there, do something good. Do something that is talked about they're doing, but get a leg up on them. And come on, let's try this and that. So you want transparency. You want that kind of open door policy, if you will, so they can say, look, I've got some time on my hands. I'd like to help you do this and make it happen. I think that's one of the most important things about it. Just let's all get together and then let's do good, which is what this whole thing why I'm here today. That's doing good for people in these small towns and making a difference. And that kind of stuff we want a good life. We want to be a happy life. All those charts that we're talking about that Dave was putting up there. Mike was putting up there.
Yeah.
Really cool. There's people want to live a good, healthy life. And it's not about all the kind of other stuff that we were taught for years. I have the things in here. I can almost read them off. I was really taken by him.
Yeah, no,
so good voices like that are very, very important.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
What do you love about being an actor?
I love the people. I love the words. I love the locations. I've been all over the world. Thank you, God, for doing great stuff. I just spent 2.5 great weeks in Ireland, which was my mother country, and took the family there earlier in the summer, and then got a job that went over there, and I was thrilled. I've been in many, many countries, and from Italy to Romania to all over that stuff. France.
So if a script comes your way and it says opening Ireland night, you say, yeah, I'm in?
I'm in. I don't have to read it. Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, it's one of the perks that I love the most. And I learn skills. I can drive a tractor trailer truck.
Yes.
I can ride motorcycles. I can go in balloons now. I've done all these crazy, wonderful things. And you don't get that kind of opportunity with a regular.
And putt with Jack Nicklaus?
I putt with Jack Nicklaus. I swear to God, that was one of the pinch me moments. Just sitting and talking to him for 2 hours was incredible. And talking to Lee Trevino and talking to these guys who know each other all these years, and they just they're like together. They're sewn together now that they had this tremendous. But who was better than Jack? Jack was like, I don't know. I can't do all his great because he's had so many records broken. But anyway, I think that's one of the greatest things about it. The people you meet, the stories you tell, and the locations that you can live in while you're making it. It's kind of
I think great. I read somewhere Steve Martin got the script for Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and it said exterior south of France, and he said, "Yep." What else?
Makes sense.
When do they pick me up?
Yeah. Funny.
Well, listen. This is a question I asked from Maris. I'm going to ask you. All the places you've been, what's your best meal you've ever had?
Oh.
Usually I ask the mayor what's their favorite place in the city, but you just talked about traveling the world. So
yes.
what's the best dish?
I'm going to have to go with Italy.
Yeah.
In Rome. And in one of those side streets.
You are from New York and you are Irish, so that makes you Italian.
Exactly. That's good. But the Italian food is just so hands above all these things. With the time they spent on the sauces, and then the pasta, and then the beautiful breads, and then a little glass of vino, pretty much heaven.
Where do you get your news?
Television. Basically, watch it on. Watch the. Things I don't try to do nothing before I go to bed because it could get in your head too much. So, but I do it during the day in between setups. Everybody's kind of goes back to the trailer, and then you have your lunch and stuff, and then you can tune it in like that times.
Chris McDonald, it is a pleasure to talk to you and to have met you, although apparently we probably met about 20 years ago. And so it's good to see you again. You haven't aged a bit, by the way. You haven't aged a bit. It's a pleasure having you on to talk about government, having been an actor and a president and a mayor, right up your alley. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, David. Good man.
Thank you.
Cheers.
The Good Government Institute has a new partner, the Charles F. Kettering Foundation. I really like their podcast, The Context, and I bet you will too. They have a new series called Democracy Under Construction. The show is hosted by historian Alex Lovett, and he looks back at the first 250 years of U.S. history. Alex digs into the moments that have pushed us towards an inclusive democracy. You can find it wherever you're listening right now, or visit kettering.org and give him a follow. Want to hear more about good government? Check out another show I host, Leading Iowa, Good Government in Iowa Cities. I host the show with Brad Kavanaugh, Mayor of Dubuque, Iowa, and the immediate past president of the Iowa League of Cities. Together, we talk to leaders in Iowa cities. We talk about what works and what good government looks like in Iowa. Join us right here where you're listening now. That's Leading Iowa, Good Government in Iowa Cities. That was a fun conversation, and we got in some good government discussion too. First, Chris McDonald is really excited to talk about city government, and as a political outsider, he was really impressed with some of the mayors he met and hear them talk about how they govern their cities. When you hear that from someone who's not working in government every day, that's a great outside perspective. As we continue to work with HelloNation to spread the word of good government, it's great to have a spokesman like Chris McDonald working with us. Now, I guess I better go work on my golf game because who knows, a round of golf may be required in my future. Well, that's our show. Thanks for listening. Please like us and share with your friends and review us right here where you're listening. And check out our website, goodgovernmentshow.com, for extras. Help us keep telling stories of good government in action everywhere. Join us again for another episode right here. I'm Dave Martin, and this is The Good Government Show. The The Good Government Show is produced by the Good Government Institute, a nonprofit organization promoting civic engagement and civic education. All donations to the show help promote trust in government. You can donate at goodgovinstitute.org. That's goodgovinstitute.org. Executive producers are Jim Ludlow, Dave Martin, that's me, and David Snyder. Jason Stershik is our editor and producer. Join us again to hear good stories about our government right here on The Good Government Show.
This podcast is part of the Democracy Group.